You have a beaming smile, by the way.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I received that. Okay, let me turn this one off and all right, we'll wait another minute to see who is showing up for day 3 before we get underway. Louise, hello, Louise. Great to have you back. Hi, 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 hi. Okay, let's see. I know it is. I'm so impressed with all of you for showing up on day 3. There's always so much attrition as the week goes on. So I applaud you for coming in person. It certainly makes it a lot more fun for me.
Well, that's great.
So did I pronounce your name right? Is it Acer or
Oh, no, no, no. So that's the name of the computer.
Oh,
Um,
darn it, you need to change your name. You got to rename yourself.
yeah, so I think I haven't signed in, and that's why. So it
Ah,
gives you the option to go straight through or sign in.
gotcha.
And so I think I need to sign in. So my name is actually Jasantha.
Jasantha. Oh, great. I
Yes.
think I feel like I just responded to an email from you this morning because that's an unusual name.
Um,
I don't think I have two of you. That would be crazy.
that would be.
You probably maybe you just haven't gotten it
Probably
yet.
you
I
did.
only sent it like an hour ago, so
That's fine.
a
I
lot of
just
people receive like hi so and so and then nothing else until they have to go into their
Okay.
email.
I was just wondering,
Yeah.
yeah, if it was indeed from you, so that's
Yeah.
perfect.
It was
Yeah.
for me, and but you'll
Okay.
have like a real email that actually has some content in it.
Okay.
Great.
So should I say replies? Should I reply stop to unsubscribe, or should I
To
just
the
keep it there?
SMS, to
Yeah,
the
because it
text.
says hi. It says hi, Jacinta. Reply stop to unsubscribe. Thanks, Christina, Priceless Coaching.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do anything. Like, I won't send you a
Okay.
text unless that's what we've decided to,
Okay.
what version we've decided to communicate on. So you don't have to
Okay.
do anything. Yeah,
Cool. Thank
I
you.
didn't expect a real response from that. So
Okay.
I'm glad it works. I'm glad it went through. Um, okay, fantastic. All right. Well, we've got a couple more people who've come on, and just looking through my chat from yesterday. So I'm just going to close this. And okay, well, it's 10:03. So um, let me move this over, shrink that so I can see you guys better. And all right, well, let's just get started, guys. Welcome back to day 3, our final day. I'm feeling so good. I have really, really enjoyed connecting with you all, both here and obviously on email. So this is ultimately like why I do what I do. I love connecting. We are meant to be in connection and be in community. So this is how we raise each other up and how we support each other. And it's by far my favorite thing to do. And definitely what has motivated me to continue in my work and to continue to reach out and connect with women because it's just so important to me that we find ways to really help each other. And it's going to look different for everybody, which is so wonderful, right? Like we all have our own special gifts and our own special skills. And it's really, really important that we all recognize that and see the value in that and allow ourselves to really put that out in the world and share it. So that's why we're here, right? Like I don't want you guys to stay in your own way so that you're not able to get your gifts out into the world and truly create impact and help other people. So I'm so impressed that you guys have shown up 3 days in a row. I know it's not easy, time change, all the things like it really does show amazing fortitude and commitment. So thank you all for being here. Today we're going to bring it all together. Okay. So we're just going to dive right into some breath work because now you know the power of it. And I just want to get right into it. We are going to be practicing coherence today. So coherence breathing is even number amount of counts in, even number amount of counts out, right? This practice really, really brings you back home to your heart. So it is one of my favorites. This one you really can do anywhere. There's no holds, there's no contraindications. This is such an amazing breath work because this, along with the other ones that we've practiced, this is how you really get to pull yourself back into control of your own nervous system, right? That's why breath work is so powerful. It's so simple and so powerful, and you have access to it 24/7. Like it's amazing. You get to have control over your own emotional state, your own sense of safety, and your own sense of groundedness. So you are teaching your body that it's safe to be calm and safe to relax, and ultimately really safe to trust yourself, which for a lot of us over the course of our lives have been programmed to not trust ourselves, right? To look outside of ourselves for safety and trust and guidance. Because somewhere along the way, we have been told that we don't know, but we don't know better, that somebody else knows better for us. So this is truly a way of like reclaiming that control, reclaiming that sense of internal compass and power and intuition. It's so powerful. When you are in a regulated place, everything that you've been trying to create in your life, the boundaries, which are always the trickiest, the confidence, the clarity, the peace, finally really become possible. So without further delay, okay, you were supposed to hear music. So I'm going to make sure that I'm sharing my sound, right? Learning as we go, learning as we go. Okay. So here we go. Breathe slow and come into your most comfortable posture, which can either be seated on a chair, cross-legged on the floor. Allow a tall, straight spine. So in this practice, we slow your breathing down to about 6 breaths per minute. You're going to inhale through your nose for 5 and exhale for 5 through your nose or your mouth. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Perfect balance. Your coherence, your heart and your breath moving together in beautiful rhythm. So go ahead and place your hand at the height of your lower ribs. Notice when you breathe in, the expansion outward. When you exhale, the withdrawal inward. On your next inhale, inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue this rhythm, letting your body follow naturally. Let your shoulders drop. Relax your jaw. Release any tension in your forehead. Soften your chest, soften your breath, and smooth the exhalation. if your mind has wandered, amazing. Gently return to the sensation of your breath. Allow your shoulders to still, your belly to expand, and your breath to be smooth and long. That's it. Stay with your breath. And on your next exhale, restore your breath to its natural rhythm. And begin to notice the rhythm of the world around you. Notice the pressure from the floor or the chair, and the kiss of the air on your skin. Bring gentle movements to your hands and feet. And when you're ready, flutter open your eyes and know that every ounce of beauty you witness on the outside is only ever reflecting back what exists within you. How does everyone feel? Special. You are special. Calm. I love that practice. So powerful. Oh, today's practice felt easier. Well, that's what happens as you practice things, right? Like that's the point. So thank you. The more we practice things, the easier they become. It's just the way that we're built. So, and you can see it happens in a very, very short amount of time, right? It doesn't mean that you have to practice for an hour every day. I mean, practicing for a few minutes. I mean, our breath work practices have been 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes tops. So it doesn't require a lot. It just requires consistency. This was a little bit easier. Yes. Coherence breathing is definitely one of the more simple because there's only two things, right? It's in and out. There's no pauses. There's no hold. There's less counting. And of course, that coherence mirroring is going to vary for each person, right? Sort of like depending on where you are with your lung capacity. For some people, it's like 3 in and 3 out, or 4 in and 4 out. Eventually, it could be longer, right? It could be like 8 in, 8 out. That will shift and change as you develop more capacity. And it is one of those breath works where oftentimes you don't even really need to count, right? You can almost sense the same amount of time that it takes to breathe in as it does to breathe out. So it's a lovely, very powerful exercise. So if that's the easiest one so far, then you guys, Tanique and Louise, like stick with it. Have that be your go-to. Everybody that I've ever worked with has a go-to breath work that they just find really, really clicks and really gets them regulated fast. Everybody has a favorite, like anything. So I'm so glad that you two found that one. Okay, so let's quickly do a review of what we've covered. Day one, your combination of your behaviors and habits, change them, change your identity, change your results. Your relationship with yourself really, really determines results in health, wealth, relationships. Depression is ruminating in the past. Anxiety is fearing the future. Presence is now. Now is the only place where anything happens. Okay, day two, connecting the dots of the mechanics. So how our limiting beliefs are created, what the cost and the payoffs are for having those, and how to really unstick ourselves. So today we're going to go a little bit deeper. We're going to dig in a little bit into stepping outside of our comfort zone. We're going to go into modeling and what the success formula really looks like. So we're going to start with everyone's favorite topic, and it's definitely like a buzzword, right? Your comfort zone. Okay. You just hear it everywhere. You got to get outside your comfort zone. Well, you have to get outside of your comfort zone in order to create anything. It's it's that's just the way we're built, right? There's no way around it. We would never learn how to walk if we didn't push ourselves at such a young age to get through the falling. Like, we don't get anywhere in life by staying stuck in fear. Literally, like, we wouldn't be able to learn language. We wouldn't be able to learn how to walk, run. We wouldn't be able to learn any new skills if we stayed stuck, fearing the outcome or afraid of what the results will be. Like, we just wouldn't. So, hi Mandy, welcome. So because there's no way around this, we all understand and we can all absolutely admit that change is scary because it's unknown, right? The unknown is unknown. It's we create a fear around it, even though there's no truth to that. Fear is only a projection of past events onto what could be something that happens. It's not existing. It doesn't exist yet. So it feels really scary. And our brains are constantly trying to predict, but they only have the past as reference points. Okay. So as I mentioned before over the last couple days, is that our brain is always, 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 always looking for confirmation bias, right? Remember, that's the third biggest payoff. Justification, collecting reasons why you're right, and also all the people who agree with you. Okay. So, like so many things, you need some pressure to grow, right? Here's the truth. You need pressure to actually do anything, whether it's a pressure of avoiding pain, right? Or it's usually a pressure of avoiding pain, right? You don't want to be broke. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to be unhealthy. Like, these are pressures of discomfort. So this is how you get out of your comfort zone, right? People want to feel this is like the double-edged sword with the comfort zone. People want to feel comfortable doing uncomfortable things before they do them. Am I right? Like, we are all always, this is how procrastination grows and how we become these consumers because we're like, I'm just not ready. When I'm ready, I'll do it. And so we spend and waste all this time trying to get ready because we think we, or what we crave is the comfort of being comfortable doing something uncomfortable. But like, it doesn't make any sense. That's just not how it works, you know? But it is what we crave. So there's no getting around that that is most of our realities, right? You just can't feel comfortable with something that you've never done. Like how does that work? It doesn't. It's impossible. So we love to resist what is good for us, right? When things feel hard, we contract. This is dysregulation. This is having incongruency with yourself, right? It's like you know what's good for you, but you resist it, right? How can you get the results that you want without getting outside your comfort zone, without trying new things, without doing things that you've never done before? Well, you can be an effective learner and you can model behavior that has the results that you want, right? So remember your homework, where there was a question about like, what do you no longer want, right? That can be improving, like improvement on your relationship with self. All of these things that we talked about, of the things that you no longer want, whether it has to do with your health, your wealth, your relationships, um, these can all be improved by starting with working on the relationship with yourself. That's where it all starts. So I do have a question. Like, this comes up a lot. What do you think is stronger, your heart, excuse me, or your head? Just pop in the chat, heart or head. Which is stronger? Don't be shy. Heart or head? Heart. Yes. 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 So for example, if I say, "Hey, just don't worry about that. Stop worrying about that. Hey, you don't have anything to be afraid of. Don't be afraid." Like, can you do that? Is that how it works? No, no. You can, I mean, we wish, right? You can't think your way out. You need to regulate and activate from your heart, your body, your intuition. Get to breathe into your heart. Okay. So let's just do that right now. So place your hand on your heart, right? Rub your heart gently. Okay. So we're gonna just breathe into your heart, right? Drop into your body. Okay. One of the best ways to do this is through gratitude. Okay. It is spoken a lot about and not practiced enough, right? Like, I mean, gosh, there's so many things to be grateful for. And if you're ever stuck on wanting to like expand what you're grateful for, it's like you could think about all the things that if you didn't have them, how that would impact your life. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that my legs work. I'm so grateful that my bed is warm. Oh, I'm so grateful for my delicious coffee. Oh, I love my coffee. Oh my gosh. I'm so grateful for sunshine. I love how it feels on my skin. I'm I'm so grateful that I have the power to learn and grow and be curious. I'm grateful, for obviously the love of my family. I'm grateful for my pets, my dogs. Oh, I'm so grateful when my little dog is right next to me in the morning and I can just snuggle him. Like, there's so much to be grateful for, but it's so important to bring your mind back down into your body and actually feel feel the gratitude. Like, feel the zing that it fills your body with when you're truly in gratitude. This is so powerful. It's so simple, but it goes beyond just journaling about it, right? Which is something that I do as well. Like, that's part of my practice. But when you make a mind body connection with the gratitude and you really allow that feeling to saturate your body, that's when you really connect with it. That's when you really change your vibration and your frequency. That's when you emit all the things that you're grateful for out on to the universe and the world. Like, that's where the transformation happens, right? So that's where you're going to really feel the shift. So imagine if you felt better every day, do you think you'd get more done? Anyone? I wonder if you put your hand up, yeah, if it would pop up even though your pictures aren't up, even if your screen's not up. Those little hand things. What happens if you do that? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, of course, right? I mean, we have all experienced when we are like feeling great, we are like, yes, oh my gosh. Like, if I felt this great every day, there's nothing I couldn't get done. I mean, we've all had days like that, right? Like, we handle adversity better. Yeah, more energy, more motivation, of course, right? This is where really becoming aware of your emotional state through breath, like why that's so important. So again, like we're connecting the dots again. This is how regulation allows you to process and bounce back because cultivating a positive state is what allows you to maintain consistency, right? We know, we all know that life is up and down. Like there's no avoiding it. And as soon as we embrace that like that's okay, like that's part of the experience. If we were always on a high and if things were always amazing, we'd have no reference point. Like we wouldn't appreciate it as much. It is the yin and the yang. Like we have to experience sadness and grief and loss and desperation and all of these, what we would consider negative, even though it's just information, right? How we experience them is sort of like our story that we bring to them. But this is part of the human experience. We get to have both. We get to hold both. And that is a part of being human and living day to day. So when you practice real gratitude, when you practice being able to forgive yourself and others, and you practice serving from a full cup, like when you practice learning how to self-resource yourself so that you're not outsourcing it to somebody else, you're insourcing it, you are self-resourcing, you know how to, you know, give yourself joy and give yourself love and show up for yourself. This will allow you to create impact on your life, on your immediate circle life, your family, and then the world beyond, right? That's the magic. So we all, I know, realize that knowing, right, intellectually, knowing is not the same as doing, right? Practice is the key. There's no getting around that. There just isn't. So who you say you are is who you become, okay? This is, this is, ah, if there's one thing you really, really take away from these 3 days, aside from knowing that, breathing can regulate your nervous system, is like self-talk. Who you say you are is who you become. I love this one study. It's a little bit more heady in the sense of like how your mind has such a direct effect on your physical body, but it's this one study out of Ohio, at Ohio University. These neuroscientists showed that visualizing weightlifting can significantly boost your muscle strength, okay? Up to 13% more, just by activating the same neural pathways as actually lifting. So you're not physically doing anything. You're sitting there, and I think they did it for like 15 minutes at a time over the course of 12 weeks. They visualized actually seeing themselves lift weights, okay? This strengthened the brain muscle connection, your motor cortex activation. And like that's like beyond, I mean, that sounds like magic, right? Like I think that's what we think of when we think of magic. I mean, the fact that they have proven that again, like supports how powerful your mind-body connection is. And it also supports the idea that your mind does not know the difference between reality and made up, okay? It takes information and it applies it in the same way. Well, whether it's real, like happening in real life, or imagined. Okay. This is why your internal dialogue matters so much. Okay. And why nervous system regulation is critical, imperative, like I mentioned on day one. So, how do we interrupt these old thought patterns, right? How do you learn how to self regulate your nervous system, right? When you get in touch with yourself, right? You have to create safety first, then everything else becomes possible. This is how you open yourself up to possibilities, right? When you start to regulate yourself regularly, like daily, like when you catch yourself and you pay attention to your internal dialogue, what you say you can and cannot do, when you start to shift your neural linguistic programming, the things that you how you frame things, how you state things, how you um, use your language, this is how you start to communicate with the universe. Like things and opportunities will start to appear. And it's not that they weren't always there, but your lens, your perspective, your ability to be able to see them and receive them was shut off, right? Like this is how you become open to possibility. It's such an amazing thing because it's true for everyone. It's it's how our makeup is. So let's talk about one of the fastest ways for you to get the results that you want. Modeling is one of the most effective ways. Model the habits and behaviors of someone who already has the results you want, right? You find somebody who has the business that you want, or has the relationship that you want, or has the health that you want, or the wealth, right? So you model their behaviors, their beliefs, their habits, and their commitment. This is the quickest way. And how do you often do that? You often pay somebody, right? Through coaching, through mentorship, through leadership programs. Like that's the quickest way. You model the result you want, you borrow their behaviors, their beliefs, their habits, their commitment. This is why people will pay you to help them with their online business or their health or their relationships, whatever it is, whatever your gift is, right? Whatever you have figured out, this is how you help them because modeling is the fastest path. You find somebody who has already spent the time and money to figure it all out, and then you model them, right? So the success formula really highlights, it shows that the most successful people all repeated what they had learned or like what they had trained for the most amount of times, right? Like, what did we say back on day one? And I'm pretty sure I repeated yesterday that talent is just habit and behaviors over a period of time. Like, that's it, right? It is like the old cliche practice makes perfect. It is, even though there's no such thing as perfection. It just speaks to the fact that, like, if you practice anything, you will get good at it. Like, I finally caved and bought myself an espresso machine. I was going to my coffee shop every single day. I was spending over $300 a month on a latte. I was like, this is crazy. Like, but I loved it. Oh my gosh, I love my latte. It's just I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. Like it's I look for when I go to bed, I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to get up in the morning because I get to have my latte." Like I just love it. So my family got me an espresso maker for my birthday. Gosh, or for Christmas over probably like a year and a half ago. And I was so excited. I had watched videos. I was so, so, so excited to make my first latte. And oh my gosh, it was terrible. Like it was so hard. I couldn't foam the milk. I mean, I watched tutorial after tutorial and I was like, what the heck am I doing wrong? Like it just wouldn't work. I was like, this isn't working. Maybe it's my machine. Maybe it's me. Like, what? And I practiced for a week making more than 7 cups of lattes. But I kept practicing. And honestly, by the end of the first month, I made my perfect latte. Like, yes, it takes time. And I was determined. I was like, nope, my kids, my family bought me this machine. Like, I am sticking with it. Like, I'm not going to give up. But I literally was like, I had those moments of doubt where I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I just really, I'm never going to be able to make this stinking cup of coffee, this latte. And then lo and behold, I figured it out, right? I practice, 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 and that's all it was. Like now when I think about it, I make my latte every single morning. And now when I think about how hard it was and how perfect my latte is now, I'm like, wow, how did it take me like so long to figure out how to foam this milk? And you know what? It just did. Like I just didn't have the technique. So all of that to say, like a specific behavior in the right direction plus commitment over time until the habit is formed, right? This will equal your specific result. That's how it works. This is how a new belief is formed, right? So then I was like, oh my God, I can totally make my latte. Now I'm moving into like, oh, I wonder if I can do latte art. I'm not there yet, but I know that I could. Like people learn how to do that. So of course I can learn how to do that. Not overnight, over time, and with repetition. So again, it's like figuring out what your specific goals are, because if you don't give yourself a chance to get grounded and really figure out what your goals are, nothing's going to happen, right? You get to really know exactly what you want. And for a lot of people, like they think they start out very specific and really knowing, but in order to get really specific and really aligned, you regulate, you listen, you find your truth, you find your path, and you do all this through breath work, through regulating your nervous system, and then you act, right? This is how the universe works. Not by being vague, but by being very specific. Oh, this is one of those things that you'll hear again and again about manifestation, right? You can't just say, oh, I want to be wealthy. That's like really, really vague. What does that look like? Oh, I want to earn $10,000 a month by June 2026. Like very specific. Without specific goals, nothing happens, nothing changes. You don't have anything to base it against, right? And oftentimes, like if you don't put a date on it, it just goes and goes and goes. Like you need to be able to hold yourself accountable, right? Irrational thinking is often what makes people give up. So our emotions, they really have the power to drive us forward or keep us stuck. I think that we have really like connected the dots on that over these last couple days. When you get really clear on what you want, where you want to go, the direction that you want to go in, and you connect it to the feeling of really having it, right? So you're making that mind body connection. It's not just an intellectual want, like you connect it to imagining having it and really, really feeling what that feels like in your body. That's what builds momentum. You get to really be aware of your emotional state. And so here's a big one. You get to know how to be aware of your emotional state on a daily basis. This is really important. It's like reminding you of your why. A lot of us have um, had programs that really stress that, like, what's your why? Why do you want the business that you want? Why do you want the health that you want? Why do you want the wealth, the relationship, right? What is your why? Um, because if you skip this part, if you just go from trying to intellectualize to doing, you skip the mind body part, right? You'll never you'll never really get the business, the relationship, the life that you want, because it's all about the relationship with yourself, okay? So when you're dysregulated, you're right, you procrastinate, you avoid, you self-sabotage, you stay small. And when you regulate, you can take action, you can show up, you can follow through, and you can grow, right? So when you improve the relationship with yourself, your life will change. It's just, it's the way it works. It's amazing. Your emotions um, change not only on a daily basis, but moment to moment, right? I mean, some days we wake up, we feel amazing. Some days we wake up, we feel exhausted. Then, like halfway through the day or like a couple hours later, you're feeling something different or something happens and it completely changes how you're feeling. Like, this is just the human condition. This is a part of experiencing your life in real time. And so, if you are constantly letting your emotions steer your ship, then you'll most likely feel like you're driving in circles, right? You're just kind of like, oh my gosh, I was headed that way and now I'm headed this way and like what the heck? Or, your day started off great and it's been completely derailed, right? The more you're able to regulate and become aware, notice that you're off course, the quicker and easier it is to lovingly take back ownership of the helm and course correct. This is being responsible for your actions and your results. This is what truly caring for yourself looks like, right? Not beating yourself up, not getting frustrated with yourself, just noticing, taking the feedback, naming it, regulating, and redirecting, right? Like it's a completely different way. Um, you're in a completely different relationship with yourself. Let that just kind of like sink in for a minute because I know that it is it's really, really easy for us to beat ourselves up. And that just doesn't get us anywhere. Just doesn't get us anywhere. Um, wow, I am shocked at the time. This was like just went a lot faster than I thought it was gonna go. Uh, so I really, really want to be mindful of your time. So I'm just gonna skip around here. Um, Let me bring back, I feel like what a lot of people get stuck in. And I think probably what a lot of people, why a lot of you guys showed up for these last 3 days, right? Your ability to like follow through with things, right? To complete things that you set out to do. And why regulating your nervous system, like why that's so important and why it's so important to constantly try things outside of your comfort zone, right? This allows your brain to really stop rehearsing the same version of yourself. It allows your nervous system to recalibrate what is safe. Okay, this is why doing little things that scare you regularly is so important. So, like every time you make a business call or you do something that is you're just like really, really resistant to do, and then you realize you do it and you don't die, right? You don't spontaneously combust. Every time you have a hard conversation, a confrontational conversation with a loved one, and you don't melt or disintegrate, or every time you make it through a hard workout and you realize that you're still breathing, like these are practices that train your nervous system, right? Your cortisol spikes a little bit, your stress hormone, and then each time it'll become shorter and shorter, and your prefrontal cortex will regain control quicker, right? This is how we course correct by doing things, little things, step by step outside of our comfort zone. And every time you complete something, you're training your brain and your nervous system that you do like, oh my gosh, I can do things, I can do hard things, right? And every time that you avoid those things, you train your nervous system in the other way, right? So either way, you're training it. So you get to decide, like, really, what kind of identity are you trying to build? An I can or an I can't, right? That this is ultimately what brings you to where you are currently in your life. So the truth is, like, we actually learn by doing, right? This is how we integrate, not just by consuming, but by doing. And I know that a lot of us feel paralyzed and overwhelmed. So the doing seems impossible. And that's why we start with your nervous system. Because if you can't even get to the doing, then nothing's going to happen, right? So if you had somebody holding you accountable, do you like week in and week out, do you think you'd get more done? Anyone? Yes or no? Yes, yes, of course, of course, of course you would, right? People need accountability. It's so easy to hide from ourselves and rationalize. Ah, we're like masters at that. But you can't be successful if you're stuck all the time and you have no resources. So we break down how you're going to achieve your goals and you get results, right? It's a step by step. You regulate, you stay consistent, you repeat, right? Practice creates ease. So let me, I love that you guys, we've got, I feel like so many great little homework resources that you guys get to reference. Um, and referencing again, like who you surround yourself with and how important that is. So, like, always taking a look at your circles, like your support circles, and then the people who are not really holding you up and holding you accountable to the life that you want to live. Um, so, as we're quickly running out of time, I want to do a quick little review, you know, of what we learned day one, day two, combination of your behaviors and habits, right? That's who you are. Change them and you change your results. Your relationship with yourself, 100% is first and foremost, right? And connecting the dots of how we get to reframe our experience by being, doing, and having, as opposed to having, doing, and being, right? Really, really connecting the dots on being first, right? Through regulation, then doing, then having the life that you want. Like, that's how it works. How our limiting beliefs are created, what the costs are, how to unstick ourselves, right? How to step out of your comfort zone, how modeling works, and it's the best tool for success, right? So, with the little bit of time that we have left, I'd love to share how there might be a way for me, or for you to receive further support beyond this container if that's what you want. So, am I okay to share that now? Everybody want to just put a thumbs up or a yes or a, yeah, okay, awesome. All right. Well, I like, I can just remember feeling completely overwhelmed and directionless, even while I thought I had a very clear direction of my life. About 5 years ago, my life completely imploded. Oh, my marriage blew up. One of my daughters ended up in a residential eating disorder clinic. My life was absolutely 100% not working out the way that I intended, to say the least, right? So I really dove into therapies and mindset work, became a coach, eventually found breath work, became a facilitator, invested a lot in myself, all while like really experiencing serious financial uncertainty. So it was beyond scary. But I knew in my heart of hearts that I couldn't do it alone. And I think a little bit beyond that, like more importantly, I didn't want to do it alone. I was alone enough. Like, I was tired of feeling alone. I wanted support and guidance and someone to tell me actually like how to put one foot in front of the other. I was like, please, somebody hold my hand and help me out of this, pit. So what happened was I grew faster than I would have on my own, because you know what? Like, we just don't know what we don't know. And I was able to experience like radical transformation. And then, of course, I was able to go on and create what took me over 5 years to learn and a ton of money into a beautiful program, beautiful transformation program. This is the power of support. I mean, oh, I can remember like one of my first clients who came to me just sobbing, like literally sobbing because her life was in absolute shambles. Shambles. Like she just felt worthless and didn't matter and like just couldn't figure out how to get out of her own way. And by week 6, her transformation took hold. Like really, really something internally shifted. And by week 10, you wouldn't even recognize her life. Like it had done a complete 180. I mean, she wasn't even living where we started working together. Another client, like she felt the shift within a week. Her system was very, very dysregulated. Her eyes had opened and she finally like settled into what she was feeling. And she went from not being able to like talk about her mother without being triggered to like within 2 weeks inviting her mother like back into her life and asking her to help her care for her newborn. Like serious shifting. Um, you know, support is real. Like it's amazing. It's amazing what being in the right support and care can do. I mean, even recently, like I've invested, like $11,000 with my mentor because I was feeling stuck in a new area, which happens, right? Wow, since I mean, none of my programs come even close to that. But like, I'm so glad that I did because now I have somebody in my corner holding me accountable if I have doubts or limitations that show up. So, and anyway, this is all to say that like I see you. I'm a human being and I have my own limitations too. Like we all do. This is the experience of being human. But the question is, do you let your limitations stop you from going where you want to grow? Right? Remember how we were discussing like our limiting beliefs. So just in the chat, like who is here to stay stuck in those and watch your dreams dissolve like wet paint in the rain? Anybody? I mean, any of you that have shown up for 3 days, like, is that what your goal is? Yeah, absolutely not. Um, so tell me, like, really, really quickly, in a not even like a full sentence, like, what are your wildest dreams? And remember, most of us, like, we don't know each other. This is confidential. Like it's what are your wildest dreams? Like if you had a magic wand or a little genie in the bottle and somebody was like, what do you want? Yes, participate in world-class retreats. Love it. Love it, Maris. Anybody else? Like your wildest dreams. Magic wand wild. Yes. Oh my gosh, Tanique. Me too. Travel is at the top of my list. Me too. Yes. I love it. Well, this is what's so great. Ah, yes. I just want to live a normal life again. Oh, I've been there. I have been there. I have addiction in my family. Um, I have been there. Yep. Having the life to live, having enough money to live the life I want. Absolutely. Well, we are here for it and we can do it, right? Like this is what we're here to make a reality. Um, all of these things are absolutely within reach. Like I would honestly say that none of these were magic wand genie dreams, but that's also because when you have lived in a state of dysregulation for so long, it makes dreaming really, really challenging, like really, really challenging. So I get that. Who's here to release their old limitations and step into an identity that allows them to become the highest version of themselves? Anyone here for that? Yes, please. Anybody else wanting to keep shrinking and avoiding their inner work to please others? Hmm? No. So who joined this call because they know that they're here for something great? Like who really who knows that in their body? Like, oh, I was put on this planet for something great. Like I just know it. I might not know what it is, but I just know it. Anybody here feeling that? Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Awesome. Is there anybody here who wants to grind it out alone and keep looping in stress and frustration? Hmm? I know, I'm sure tired of that one, really. I know. I probably um coach, oh my gosh. I mean, I would dare to say 100%, but I'll say like 95% lone wolfers, right? Women who are so used to having to do everything on their own. And it's exhausting. Yes, absolutely. I totally get that. And it is exhausting. I know. Um, well, I'm so glad that you guys are like done with that because I'm done with that too. Is there anybody here willing to allow themselves to be supported and guided by the universe and held in safety as they really reach their highest potential, right? Anybody here for that? Yes. Yes, great. Well, what I'm going to ask you to do is if you're open to no longer having to struggle alone and you're curious about what it might feel like to not lone wolf it anymore, then just book a 15-minute call with me. It's just a little discovery call. On the call, we'll work out if there are any extra free resources that I can send to you, or if you're a fit for my transformational program, and I'll invite you onto a longer call. So really, it is just a little discovery call. I will pop this into the chat and see if that looks weird. Let me just check my own tech on that. I don't know why that says that. Oh, no, it works. That's a weird preview, but that link works. Um, and is there anyone who actually would love to be supported, but maybe your logistics in life right now just makes it feel impossible? Like, is there anybody here who's really feeling that? Um, because I totally get that. And I just want you to know that I would still encourage you to book a call because I know what it's like to be really in that crummy place where you feel like you need help, but for whatever reason, you can't invest in support. Like I have been there, I know. So either way, like I said, if I can't help you, I'll at least send you off with some free resources and really point you in the right direction. Um, so again, as I started today's call with like, I really love that you guys showed up. I love connecting with women, especially who are really trying to thoughtfully shift their lives, right? Who are looking for support and for help and are open and curious to ways in which they're not familiar. So I'm I really would love to connect. So for those of you who book, I'm really, really excited to see you one-on-one and speak to you and share and connect and see how I can better resource you. And from there, I will let you guys go. I know it takes a lot of courage to be willing to receive support. And as moms and women, boy, we are so used to holding it all together and achieving it all alone. So I'm just really inviting you into the opportunity to find out what it might feel like to really have support, um, and to receive support. So I can't believe we're only 1 minute over. I'm so impressed with how I wrapped that up. And I'm so impressed with all of you guys, for showing up. And I will leave you with this one. I thought it was so well timed. It was when I was journaling and doing my meditation this morning. A little quote from Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau popped up onto my phone, and it says, "The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it." So I will leave you with that. And I've so enjoyed our time together. I look forward to connecting with you guys all in the near future. And I will leave you with just go and have the most amazing year of your life. Okay? So, mwah, 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 mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so excited for each and every one of you. And I really, truly, I mean, hope to connect in person over Zoom, and get to know you guys all a little bit better. So again, thanks for showing up. And oh, I'm so glad it was helpful. And have an amazing rest of your week. And hopefully I will see you guys soon. Okay? Bye.
Thanks, Christina.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.